A book that no one can read. A language that doesn't exist. A mystery that has defied the greatest minds for over 6 centuries. This is the Voynich Manuscript, one of the most baffling books in human history. Written in an unknown script and filled with bizarre illustrations of alien-like plants, astronomical diagrams, and strange human figures, this book has stumped cryptographers, historians, and even AI. But where did it come from? Who wrote it? And most importantly, what does it say? For over 600 years, no one has been able to crack its code. Some believe it holds the lost knowledge of an ancient civilization, while others think it might be a medieval medical guide, or even proof of extraterrestrial contact. Yet, despite countless attempts, no one has ever translated a single sentence. At first glance, the book looks like an ordinary medieval manuscript, its pages filled with delicate handwriting and vivid, detailed sketches. But something feels off. The script? Unrecognizable. The plants? Unlike anything found in nature. The diagrams? Some seem to map the stars, yet they don't match any known constellations. Even stranger, experts in cryptography, people who have cracked some of history's most difficult ciphers, have studied this book. And guess what? They failed. Not a single word has been deciphered. So what's going on here? Could this book be written in an undiscovered language, a hoax designed to fool scholars, or something far more mysterious? And here's where the story takes an even more bizarre twist. Modern AI algorithms, trained to recognize linguistic patterns across thousands of languages, have been tested on the Voynich Manuscript. Their conclusion? The text has structure, syntax, even grammar, but no one can match it to anything known. It's as if the book was written by an intelligent mind in a language no one else speaks. So what is the Voynich Manuscript really hiding? Today we're diving deep into this mind-bending mystery, uncovering its origins, its secrets, and the wildest theories that attempt to explain it. And by the end of this video, you just might have your own theory on what this book truly is. Our journey into the Voynich Manuscript begins with a man named Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish book dealer with a passion for rare and ancient texts. In 1912, Voynich was traveling through Italy when he came across something extraordinary. Hidden in the library of a Jesuit college, he discovered an old manuscript that looked unlike anything he had ever seen. Its pages were filled with strange symbols, indecipherable script, and surreal illustrations, all bound together in a weathered cover that hinted at centuries of history. Voynich, being an expert in rare books, knew he had stumbled upon something incredibly valuable. He acquired the book, took it with him, and began showing it to scholars and historians, hoping someone could make sense of it. But instead of answers, he found only confusion. The manuscript contained 240 pages, though some were missing, written in a mysterious language that no one could recognize. The script flowed smoothly, as if it were an actual written language, but there were no familiar letters, words, or punctuation marks. It wasn't Latin, it wasn't Greek. It wasn't anything anyone had seen before. And then there were the drawings. The manuscript's pages were filled with strange botanical sketches of plants that don't seem to exist anywhere on Earth. There were diagrams of celestial bodies, maps of the stars that didn't match any known constellation, and perhaps most bizarrely, illustrations of naked women bathing in pools of green liquid, connected by strange tubes, as if the book was explaining some kind of unknown science or medical process. But where did this book come from? Inside the manuscript, Voynich discovered a letter written in 1665 by a Roman scholar named Johannes Marcus Marci. In the letter, Marci claimed the book once belonged to Emperor Rudolph II of the Holy Roman Empire, who supposedly paid a small fortune for it, believing it was written by the legendary alchemist Roger Bacon. This raised even more questions. Had the book been passed down through secretive hands for centuries? Was it a lost work of alchemy? A coded message from a forgotten civilization? One thing was clear. Voynich had uncovered one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. The Voynich Manuscript isn't just strange because no one can read it. What makes it truly bizarre is what's inside. The book is divided into several sections, each with its own unique theme. Though no one knows for sure what they actually mean, based on the illustrations, researchers have loosely categorized them into 5 sections. 1. The Botanical section, a catalog of impossible plants. At first glance, the pages seem like a medieval herbal guide, similar to the ones used by alchemists and physicians of the time. They contain hundreds of hand-drawn plants, each meticulously detailed with stems, leaves, and roots. But there's a problem. None of these plants exist. Experts have tried to match them with known species, but no combination of real plants fits the strange hybrids depicted in the book. Some leaves resemble familiar herbs, yet they're fused with roots and stems that don't match anything in nature. Were these plants drawn from memory? Are they from an undiscovered region? Or, more chillingly, do they exist only in the mind of the author? 2. The Astronomical section, a map of the stars, or something else. Another section features celestial diagrams, complex circular shapes with suns, moons, and stars. Some look like zodiac signs, leading some to believe this section represents an astrological calendar. But again, there's a mystery. The star charts don't match any known constellations. Some researchers have suggested they might be medieval interpretations of the cosmos, but others believe they could be a star system not visible from Earth. Could this be evidence of knowledge beyond our time? 3. The Biological section, Women in Strange Tubes. Perhaps the most unsettling section contains drawings of tiny naked women submerged in pools of green liquid connected by strange tubes. Some appear to be interacting with the plants from the first section. This has led to wild theories. Some say this section describes human reproduction. Others believe it depicts an unknown medical or alchemical process. Some have even suggested these figures represent a map of the human body's inner workings, like veins or the nervous system. But if that's true, how did the author know this in the 1400s? 4. The Pharmaceutical section, a lost medicinal guide. This section contains small containers, jars, and plant-based diagrams, leading many to believe it's a medieval medical book. Some think it could be a guide to making herbal medicines, using the mysterious plants from the earlier pages. But if that's the case, why write it in an unbreakable code? Who was this knowledge meant for, and why hide it? 5. The text, a language no one can read. Of all the mysteries in the Voynich Manuscript, the text itself is the most puzzling. The entire book is written in an unknown script, with flowing, elegant letters that seem to follow grammatical rules, yet don't match any known language. Some words repeat frequently as if they were common terms, while others appear only once. The writing has a rhythm, as though it was naturally spoken. But despite countless attempts, no one has been able to translate a single word. To this day, cryptographers, AI programs, and linguists have all failed to crack its meaning. Some believe it's a lost language, while others think it's complete nonsense, gibberish written to fool scholars. But if it is nonsense, why would someone spend years writing a 240-page book by hand? And perhaps the biggest question of all, why does the text follow the patterns of a real language? The deeper we look, the stranger this book becomes. For over a century, some of the world's most brilliant minds have tried and failed to decode the Voynich Manuscript. You'd think that with modern technology, AI, and advanced cryptographic techniques, we'd have cracked the mystery by now, but the truth is, we're no closer to understanding it than we were when Wilfred Voynich first discovered it. So, who's tried to solve it, and why have they all failed?
1. The greatest codebreakers in history failed.
During World War II, the manuscript was examined by some of the top cryptanalysts of the time, the same people who cracked Nazi and Soviet ciphers. These were men who had broken some of the most complicated codes in history. Yet when they turned their attention to the Voynich Manuscript, they found nothing. No recognizable patterns, no hidden ciphers, nothing that resembled any known language. One of these experts was William Friedman, a legendary cryptographer who helped break Japan's purple cipher in WIR. If anyone could have cracked it, it was him. But after years of analysis, Friedman concluded that the manuscript was written in an unknown constructed language possibly designed as a secret code. 2. Linguists can't identify the language. One of the biggest obstacles to deciphering the Voynich Manuscript is that its script doesn't match any known language. The text flows smoothly as if it was naturally written, meaning it likely follows grammatical rules. Some words repeat frequently, like common terms in a real language. There are no obvious corrections, which is strange for a hoax or a fake language. But, despite this, no one has been able to link it to any real-world dialect. If it's a lost language, it has no relatives, and if it's a cipher, it's the most complex one ever created. 3. Artificial intelligence has tried and failed. In recent years, AI algorithms trained on thousands of languages have been tested on the Voynich Manuscript. At first, AI suggested that the text might be written in Hebrew, but when researchers attempted to translate it, the results were nonsense. Other AI programs detected structural patterns similar to Romance languages, but again, no actual translation emerged. Even Google's AI, which can recognize obscure linguistic patterns, couldn't break the code. It's as if the book was written in a language that doesn't exist anywhere else. 4. The problem with hoax theories. Some skeptics argue that the manuscript is just a hoax, that someone in the past created it to fool scholars or sell it for money. But if that's true, then why does the text follow linguistic rules? Why would someone go through the effort of writing 240 pages of gibberish? Why are the illustrations so detailed and consistent? Most hoaxes fall apart when analyzed closely, but the Voynich Manuscript, the more we study it, the more confusing it becomes. 5. So, what are we dealing with? The Voynich Manuscript isn't just an unsolved code, it's a code that defies all known methods of deciphering. Every attempt to understand it has failed, every theory has hit a dead end, and after over 600 years, it still remains one of history's greatest mysteries. What if we're looking at it the wrong way? What if this book wasn't meant to be understood by us at all? Maybe, just maybe, it was never meant to be decoded. The Voynich Manuscript has defied codebreakers, historians, and AI, leaving us with more questions than answers. But that hasn't stopped people from coming up with wild and sometimes mind-blowing theories about its origins. Could it be an ancient lost language? A medical book? A message from another world? Let's dive into some of the most fascinating theories surrounding this mysterious text. 1. Theory 1. The hoax theory. Was it all a scam? One of the most common explanations is that the Voynich Manuscript is a hoax, created either in medieval times or by Wilfrid Voynich himself to increase its value. The argument? The text doesn't match any known language, and despite centuries of analysis, we're no closer to understanding it. But here's the problem. The writing follows consistent linguistic rules. The illustrations are extremely detailed, suggesting a deep knowledge of plants, astronomy, and biology. If it was created as a hoax in the 1400s, why would someone go through hundreds of pages of intricate text and drawings, all for a joke no one could understand? If it was a scam, it was the most elaborate and pointless hoax in history. 2. Theory 2. A lost language or unknown dialect? Some researchers believe the manuscript could be written in an unknown or extinct language. Some AI analysis suggests the text has patterns similar to Romance languages, like Latin or Italian. What if the book was written in a dialect that no longer exists? Could it be the last surviving text of a forgotten civilization? But if that's true, why have 0 related texts ever been found? 3. Theory. 3. An alchemical or medical book. The book's strange plant illustrations, mysterious human figures, and strange tubes have led some to believe it could be an alchemical or medical manuscript. Some believe it was a coded medical text, possibly about women's health or herbal remedies. Others think it describes secret alchemical knowledge, hence the bizarre mixtures of plants and star charts. Some have even linked it to paranormal healing or ancient mystical practices. But again, why write it in an unbreakable code? Or Theory 4, extraterrestrial origins? Now, here's where things get really strange. Some believe the Voynich Manuscript could be of non-human origin. The plants, unlike anything on Earth. The stars, unrecognizable constellations. The language, unbreakable, as if it was never meant to be understood by humans. Some have suggested that the book might be a record of alien knowledge left behind by an advanced civilization. If this sounds crazy, remember, the book doesn't match any known historical knowledge, so who really wrote it? 5. Theory. 5. A book from the future? A more mind-bending theory suggests the book wasn't written in the past, but in the future. What if the manuscript is written in a language that doesn't exist yet? What if it's a time traveler's notebook containing knowledge from a civilization that hasn't even been born yet? Far-fetched? Maybe. But no theory so far has been able to fully explain the book's impossible characteristics. So, what's the truth? After 600 years, the Voynich Manuscript remains an unsolved puzzle. Whether it's an elaborate hoax, a forgotten language, or something beyond our understanding, one thing is certain. For over 600 years, the Voynich Manuscript has remained an unbreakable enigma. Cryptographers, linguists, and even AI have all attempted to decode its secrets, but no one has come close. The book defies our understanding of language, science, and history. Every time we think we're making progress, the mystery only deepens. So what do we really know? The book was discovered in 1912 by Wilfred Voynich, but it likely dates back to the 1400s. It contains strange plants, unknown constellations, and eerie human figures, all drawn with precision. The text follows a structure like a real language, but no one can read it. Codebreakers, AI, and scholars have all failed to translate even a single word. And the biggest mystery? We have no idea who wrote it or why. Could it be a forgotten language, a medical guide, a hoax, or something even stranger, a message from a lost civilization, an extraterrestrial record, or a book from the future? Maybe one day, someone will finally break the code and reveal the manuscript's true meaning, but until that day comes, it remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think the Voynich Manuscript really is? Drop your theories in the comments below. And if you love mysterious and unsolved cases like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Who knows, the next great mystery might be the one we finally solve together.